Okay, and we have a chance today to really go into some training today. We're going to go into some nuts and bolts. I know sometimes you're on a big event and there's a lot of inspiration, okay? And inspiration is very important. But inspiration without education can lead to frustration. Who would agree? So today, guys, you're going to get some really strong tools on how to go out there and make things happen. My goal here today, guys, is to make sure that you raise the bar. We ready to raise the bar in 2014.
Yep.
Okay, and that bar stands for belief. I want you to write this down. Belief, activity, and results. That's my objective here today, is to help you to raise your bar. Okay, your belief, your activity, and your results. And we're going to talk about first is the belief. Who believes in organic gold?
Yes. Woo!
Who believes they believe in organic gold? Who believes they believe in what you're doing in this industry? Well, that's very important, guys. Belief is very important. A lot of times you hear us loosely use the word belief. But the question is, what are you believing in? Because you truly could believe that you will not be a diamond. And would agree, you won't be a diamond if you believe that. So being conscious of what it is that you believe is very important. So understanding what it is that you need to believe in order to be successful in this industry, and being very deliberate about drilling that into your mind to make sure that you have the conviction necessary to go out 40 years and still not living a lifestyle I always dreamed about. Many of them most were waking up the same time I was waking up in the morning. They were in the same traffic I was in the morning. They were at work just as late or later than I was. And although the grass was greener, who would agree, to make more money, grass might be greener. Right. But even when the grass is greener, who would agree the water bill is a little bit higher too? Right. And I recognized I was climbing a corporate ladder that I was leaning up against the wrong building. If I was going to get something different, I had to do something different. Who would agree the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result? And I recognized it was pretty evident that the statistics spoke for itself. That most people working their job did not deliver their dreams. They were working a job, and 97% of the population were retiring, dead or dead broke, find themselves going to retirement and have to continue to go and work another job. And who would agree things have changed over the years when it comes to jobs? Who would agree the economy has totally changed? Who remembers there was a time when one income in a household would take care of their whole household? Remember that? One income would take care of the whole household. One spouse worked, the other spouse stayed home. You could take care of your house, you could take care of your car, you can put your children through an education, and you can retire and live happy ever after. Who remembers that? Or at least it's all on TV, right?
It's fake.
And then when there was a silent thief called inflation, right? That started to steal our money. It wasn't enough to make one income in a household, you needed then two, right? Sometimes more. Then you had people working overtime, after time. And that's when we had the latchkey kids growing up, right? This is all just history. Right. We had the latchkey kids growing up because both parents were working long hours. And then when that wasn't enough, okay, we invented these plastic things called credit cards. And so now you borrow your future paychecks just to live today. And all of a sudden we saw the numbers. We saw debt go up to here, savings rate at an all-time low. And we saw in general numbers, in general statistics, people were debt up to here, savings rate at an all-time low. Look good, smell good, but can't rub some nickels together, right? Living from week to week, paycheck to paycheck, okay? And not having enough for retirement, not having enough to really live the lifestyle they want to live. And my question was this: who are the people who were able to travel the world? They no longer had to think about money anymore. They had a cash machine that was paying them. Who are the people who were able to take 2 vacations a year, 6 months at a time? Would you agree that's true freedom?
Yes.
Well, you don't have to worry about the money. Right. I want to know who are those individuals who were able to invest their time, eventually take their foot off the gas, and get paid long term. I like the idea of being ambitiously lazy. Where I can be ambitious for a short period of time and be lazy for the rest of my life. And lazy means just doing what I want to do versus what I had to do for someone else. Does that make sense? Who would agree we have a lot of fun in organic gold?
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Well, at some point, guys, organic gold just becomes income becomes a scoreboard. It's the emotional revenue, it's the spirit, it's all the things that you're doing to help other people, that the contribution that you have an opportunity to have in this business, that you have people like Mr. Holton Buggs who's just off the chart. He's at a point where he doesn't have to do the work anymore, but he does it because he's passionate about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we have a business, guys, that fulfills a lot of human needs that we have to help people, to be around and win with people. Who'd agree is excited to win with people, right? So corporate America wasn't for me. I realized that pretty early 20s. and actually late 19, like late teens, like 19 years old when I was actually started looking into entrepreneurship. Started reading different books. Anyone heard of Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Yeah.
Robert Kiyosaki. He actually had a book right before that. It's called If you want to be rich and happy, don't go to school. Now, mind you, I'm at University of Penn for engineering, and I'm reading this book about if you want to be rich and happy, don't go to school. It was very difficult because once I became conscious of it, because I'm reading this book, he's talking about how society has changed. He wasn't against education; he was just saying how our current education system is very obsolete.
Yep.
He talked about just basically us realizing, he just shared true numbers. Just how people were working jobs, they were in a whole economy, they were living from week to week, paycheck to paycheck, end up retiring, not having the income they need, and who recognized that? He just talked about how most of us get that routine, we've been hypnotized into that game plan of success, and later on when opportunities like this come across your desk, it's very hard to recognize it. Because you've been trained so long that if it doesn't look like a job, it doesn't look like an opportunity.
Yep.
Does that make sense? And for me, that was really snapped me out of the old mindset, okay? And I was able to move into entrepreneurship, and I started investing in real estate properties, small 2, 3, 4 unit apartment buildings. I also started my own traditional business that I got off the ground, okay? And this was actually in 2000 when I started launching, got into real estate, launched my own business, and then by 2001, I felt comfortable enough, I had enough income coming in, that I felt comfortable enough to go in business for myself full time. Okay, so I left corporate America, gave my job back to the economy. Really, my economy could use some jobs, right? So I donated my job back to the economy, went full time in business for myself in 2001. Okay, now after a full year of being self-employed, I ran into some cash flow challenges. Anyone know about cash flow challenges? Anyone know about having more month than money? I had that problem. Okay, and I had some tenants act up. Anyone know about tenants acting up? Anyone in here the tenants that act up? Keep your eyes open. And found myself in a situation where I had some mortgages that were not getting paid because, I had some slow pay. Also, the business that was getting off the ground, I had some accounts receivables. Anyone know about accounts receivables? That never are received. It's like we anticipate the money. It's worse to even anticipate the money coming in. Because you've already spent it. Right. The anticipation is coming in. Right. And when it doesn't come in, it can be even more devastating. Right. Okay? So I found myself in a situation in 2002, after a full year of being self-employed, that I had to make a decision. Either I go back to a job, or I find a way to make things work. And I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, but being self-employed for over a year, kind of calling my own shots, not having to go to a job, wake up in the morning and go to a job. Okay? You know what a job stands for, right? Mm-hmm. Just over broke. For me, it was jump out of bed. It was jammed on the boulevard. And sometimes I wanted to jump off a bridge. Because I couldn't see myself going back. I had this mental condition I developed over a year of not having that job. After a year of being self-employed, I had a mental condition. It's called being psychologically unemployable. I couldn't see myself going back into that emotional roller coaster I'd be a part of. You guys have that emotional roller coaster?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You guys have it here in Cali?
Yeah.
Anyone know about Hump Day Wednesday? Thank God it's Friday. Yeah, they have restaurants named after it. And then there's, oh my God, here comes Monday again. That's a long name, but that's how I felt on Sunday. I had a stomachache on Sunday. Just thinking about Monday morning. Anyone know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I see a stomachache on Sunday. It's amazing because Friday you're so excited, right? Friday after work you're excited, you're waiting all week for Friday night. You get one whole day on Saturday,
Right.
and then you're depressed again on Sunday. And then it's all about getting back to Friday again. It just seems crazy to me to go through this emotional roller coaster every week. And how many people know there's more heart attacks on Monday morning before 9 a.m. than any other day of the week? Who knows that?
Yeah.
There's more heart attacks on Monday morning before 9 a.m. than any other day of the week. Now, I didn't do enough research to find out exactly why it is. But in my mind, it just meant that people rather die than go to work. So in my mind, it was bad for my health. I had to go back to a job. And who would agree when you open your mind, things start to, you start to let things in, right? A lot of times a closed mind is the most expensive thing you own. And I recognized that in 2002 because not this company, but this industry came back across my desk. And I had some misconceptions of the home-based business industry. I had some misconceptions about the possibilities that were here. I had a lot of friends who tried some things and were not successful. Who knows some people who tried some things? How many of you tried some things, right?
Yep.
And who would agree there's a lot of people who tried things and are not very successful. And it'd be a bad idea to judge an industry based on people who tried it and were not successful. Now, I had a friend who was very successful, but I never asked him what he did to be successful. I judged it based on people who were unsuccessful. Now, think about this. Who knows some people, again, knows people who tried some things unsuccessfully? Who knows some people who ever tried the gym? And still not in shape. 6 months later, still not in shape. They're not excited about the gym anymore, right? And we're still in that window, January 14th, about first 2 weeks or so, gym is packed, right? You can't find a parking lot. You can't find a park at the gym because everyone's still in that, hey, New Year resolution, I'm going. But they're dying out, right? By the time February comes around, it'll be empty lot. You can park right next to the handicap. And then, right now you're waiting at the gym, waiting for equipment, like, but who agree things change, right?
Yeah.
Commitment is doing what you said you would do long after the mood you set it in.
Yeah.
And most people, guys, unfortunately, come into an industry like this because their expectations are so high. They come into an industry like this and they don't put the proper effort into it to be successful.
Yep.
They don't stick around long enough to be successful. And it's not that you don't have a capability of doing it. I'm going to share with you here today, kind of draw some parallels that you've done things and you've been patient, but you come into an arena like this and you say, I don't want to get rich quick scheme, but then you get in and you're not rich tomorrow, you quit. Okay? So we're going to help today to also manage some expectations, because if you manage your expectations properly, you can be successful. And that was great about the person who invited me to this industry initially. He said, Sulaiman, I know you're busy. He said at the time, he said, this is our organic goal. But prior to 2002, I was looking for something. He said, Sulaiman, I know you've done a lot of things. You've been in school, you went to a great school, you started your business, and you applied yourself to it. He said, if you apply yourself to this business, like you applied yourself to other things, it can pay you a decent income. Now, we're not saying get rich overnight, but it can pay you some great income. This is in 2002. And I applied myself with the right expectations, with the right effort into that particular business. And within 8 months, I got to a point where I was earning an extra $4,000 a month, on top of, along with, in addition to what I was currently doing. Who would agree that can help out?
Yeah.
And that was huge for me back then. The extra $4,000 a month gave me enough income to offset my other expenses. I was able to stay home and not have to go back to that job. So that was truly my exit strategy out of corporate America, okay? And fast forward, my wife came out of college, never had to work a job. Okay, we were able to build that traditional business along the way. We were working that business part-time, continue to build the traditional business. After a while, traditional business got to a point